Hey everyone, welcome to the PEX News channel. We're going to talk about Netanyahu's latest threats to Tehran. He said Israeli warplanes will soon be flying over Iran, and unprecedented escalation looms. In a dramatic escalation of regional tensions, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced this evening that Israeli fighter jets will soon be flying over Iran, issuing an explicit and unprecedented threat to target what he described as all sites and objectives of the Iranian regime, without specifying the scale or duration of the operation. In an unusual address released by his office on the Sabbath, a day of rest in Israel, Netanyahu declared that Israel had already dealt a serious blow to Iran's nuclear infrastructure, stressing, "What we have done so far is nothing compared to what is coming." Coordinated threats and clear signals. Netanyahu's statements came hours after similar remarks were made by Israel's defense minister and a military spokesperson, in what appeared to be a coordinated effort to prepare the public and international community for a potential military escalation. Ahmed Darawshe, correspondent for Al Arabi TV reporting from Tel Aviv, said, "We are witnessing an exceptionally aggressive tone. The Prime Minister is speaking confidently about Israeli aircraft operating freely in western Iranian airspace with no significant threats from Iraqi or Syrian territories." According to Darawshe, Netanyahu reiterated the military's assertion that Israel has paved the road toward Iran, an implication of aerial dominance and a possible prelude to direct strikes. Comprehensive targeting, not just nuclear facilities. What stood out in Netanyahu's speech was the scope of his threat. The targeting is not limited to Iran's nuclear sites or ballistic missile infrastructure. He spoke broadly of all sites affiliated with the Iranian regime, which analysts interpret as a shift in Israeli strategy, from precision strikes to comprehensive strategic deterrence. This suggests that any forthcoming Israeli military action might include command centers, military bases, intelligence hubs, and even government buildings, particularly in Tehran. Israel on high alert, command underground. Israeli media outlets reported that Netanyahu, along with several members of the Political Security Cabinet, the Security Cabinet or Cabinet, are currently operating from a fortified underground command center believed to be located in the mountains near Jerusalem, designed to withstand nuclear strikes. The Israeli Air Force is reportedly on its highest alert, with reconnaissance flights over Syria and Iraq intensifying, and air defense systems activated nationwide. The country's strategic infrastructure is also on high alert. Partial failure in missile defense raises alarm. Meanwhile, Haaretz reported that Israeli intelligence assessments have confirmed the failure to intercept 10 Iranian ballistic missiles that struck central Israeli cities in recent hours, marking the first official acknowledgement of such a number reaching Israeli territory. While Israeli air defenses, including the Iron Dome, David's Sling, and Arrow systems, reportedly intercepted about 190 of the 200 incoming projectiles, a 95% success rate, the remaining 5% caused substantial damage in urban areas. This partial breach has alarmed security officials. Worst-case scenarios, military and civilian risks. Israeli military planners are deeply concerned about future barrages involving more advanced missiles, especially those with explosive payloads of up to 1 ton, capable of devastating wide areas in a single strike. A key concern is the potential failure to destroy Iran's most fortified nuclear sites, such as the Fordow enrichment facility, which is located more than 80 meters underground. A prolonged conflict without achieving these strategic objectives could turn into a costly war of attrition. Iranian retaliation and the growing deterrence equation. Tehran, for its part, continues to issue warnings of harsh retaliation. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, has reiterated its readiness to respond with overwhelming force to any Israeli aggression. Diplomatic sources indicate that Iran has informed international intermediaries that any direct attack on its territory will be considered a declaration of full-scale war. Iran is also reportedly prepared to launch direct missile attacks on Israeli command centers and major military bases, not just through its regional proxies. International reaction. Deep concern and urgent diplomacy. The United States expressed grave concern over the latest escalation and called on both sides to exercise restraint and avoid triggering a regional war. Meanwhile, Pentagon sources confirmed that U.S. forces in the Gulf have been placed on heightened alert, with reinforcements deployed to key bases. European powers, including France, Germany, and the UK, voiced similar concerns and began urgent diplomatic outreach aimed at de-escalation. Reports suggest that diplomatic back channels are active, with contacts underway between Washington, Ankara, and Doha. On the brink of a regional conflagration, observers warn that the current trajectory may lead to a large-scale regional conflict if international efforts to contain the crisis fail. The nature of Israel's threats, combined with Iran's possible retaliation, raises the risk that even a small miscalculation could ignite a full-blown war, one that could engulf Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and the Gulf. With traditional deterrence balances shifting and missiles becoming strategic and political weapons, many analysts believe the region stands on the brink of a confrontation unlike anything seen before, one that could redefine the geopolitical map of the Middle East for decades to come. Continuous coverage. So, what's your take? Drop a comment below.